Hey, happy Thursday. It's the Bearded Warrior here. I actually wasn't planning on going live today. I'm in the middle of cooking dinner. I'm getting ready to go on date night. And this morning we had a walkthrough on our kitchen. So if you saw my story the other day, the real quick of it was we had a groomer here in June, and she put some hose on our bathtub. It flooded our kitchen ceiling, so our kitchen ceiling's getting replaced, and they had to basically skim the whole ceiling to fix, basically 20 square feet of our drywall. And so this morning we walked with the general contractor to see the work that had finished. And to be honest, they did a shitty job. It's not the worst job that I've seen, but they only win about 90%. So here's this contractor that my insurance sent to us, and we have to use. And, we've been living in chaos at our house for the past, 4 days. Things are masked off. There's construction dust everywhere. We can't really access our kitchen. And I get home yesterday and all of that's gone. And I start looking around and start noticing all these defects, right? And it's like, dude, like they totally did a half-assed job wiping everything down. They did a half-assed job on the texture. They did a half-assed job on the paint. We have one whole wall that, completely doesn't even match the color the paint that they bought. And I'm just like, this is such a lesson of life. And so, this morning the GC comes up and he starts looking at the work, and then he's just like, yep, you guys are right. We did not produce what we said we we're going to produce. And so that's why it says like 90%, because I don't know about you guys, but for somebody like me, and I've been thinking about this for a long time, probably far too much, but I was having a conversation with my wife this morning, and I was just like, this is such a lesson of life. Like, why do the job but not do the best job or to the fullest extent? Like, you're here, you're getting paid, and you have everything taped off, you have everything in place, but yet you stop short. And guys, this is life. This is life lessons. And, oftentimes, just because of who I am, and my upbringing, especially in the fire department, and being an arson investigator, like I have a trained eye. I have a trained eye to things that are incorrect, imperfections, right? And it's something that I've actually struggled with. I actually struggle with it a lot. And the story I've been telling myself is, why is it always me that has to hold people accountable? So in this situation, I'm like, the paint's not right, the color's not right, there's texture missing, they fucked up our oven and scratched it, they took our chandelier and they hung it way too high. Like, if you're going to do the work, do the work. Don't just go 90% and then be like, well, I tried. I mean, how often in life do we have that, or we have the same situations? You start something, but you don't finish. You say you're going to do something, but you never do that thing. Right? And it's almost like it's second nature to us as human beings. You start something and you don't finish. Or you start something and it's truly not your best work. And it just doesn't make sense to me. So I'm having this conversation with my wife as I'm driving into the office. And I'm just like, I finally get it. I finally get why oftentimes I feel like I'm the one that has to hold people accountable. And my reasoning or my justification as to that story that I'm telling myself is, it's because I hold myself to a super high standard. And I'm not going to sit on here and act like I'm perfect, because I'm absolutely 100% not fucking perfect. I'm not going to act like I am better, because I am 100% not better. But what I do strive for are two things: value and principles. And I really think that most people don't hold those two things in high esteem. They don't have high value in themselves, and they don't stick to their principles. Because if you did, you would not stop at 90%. Or you would not bend or waver or falter over your principles. And the perfect example of this was the pandemic. And I hate talking about that time period because I just hate it. I hate it because there's a lot of things that don't add up when it comes to it. But it's a great teacher, because that showed how strong your principles are. And whether you agree with me or not, we don't have to go there. But I stuck to my principles. My family stuck to our principles. My business stuck to our principles. We lost money, we lost business, we lost family members, all because we valued ourselves enough to say, no, we're not going to just do this 90%. We're not going to pretend or go along or whatever, just 90%. We're standing our ground. We're sticking to our principles. And that's why it's such a great life lesson, is if we have the framework that these are our principles and this is the value that we're willing to accept for our lives, that's why I often feel like this. I often feel, or the story that I tell myself is that I'm the one that has to hold people accountable. I'm the one that has to say, nope, this is the boundary for this. And the perfect example is there are businesses that I used to spend my money at frequently that during the pandemic I got kicked out of. And I haven't been back there in 3+ years. Even though it's more convenient for me to go there. And so, in this situation that we're dealing with in our castle here, now they've been notified. Now they have to come back. Hey, what's up, Curtis? Now they have to come back. They have to redo the areas that they didn't finish. And they now have to pay for it. But if you apply this to your life of things that you do that you say you're going to start but you don't finish, or I'm going to go 90%, I'd have you consider that there's more. I'd have you consider that if you had high value in yourself and you had these principles in place, that you wouldn't just go 90%. You would go the full 100%. And in my stories, I just talked about results versus habits. And in the framework of looking at something, whether it's working out or improving your marriage or improving your business or scaling your business, you need to be focused on the habits, not the results. Now, ultimately, results prove that you did the work, right? Just in this experience. Did the contractor do the work to get the desired result? The answer is no. Because if he had the habits in place to being meticulous about his work, if he had the principles of, you know what, I'm not going to skimp on my job, I'm going to do the best job that I can, then the results would show for themselves. But For this guy, they don't. He does not have those in place. He's focused on getting in, getting out, and now the GC has to either pay him to come back, and that's this lesson. If you're somebody that keeps having the same things come up in your life, or you keep getting the same results, it's because you haven't established the habits. You haven't established the principles, the boundaries, the focus that you need to have to then in turn get the desired results. So I'd have you consider, what do your habits look like? What habits do you have that are working? What are you the best at? Are you getting 90% results? Or are you getting 100% results? What are the habits you know you need to change? I'll give you an example for myself. The habits that I need to change are, taking a step back, looking at the situation before I respond. Because I spent a long time at the fire department. A lack of response could mean somebody's life. So I've carried that with me. And a lot of times it works out for me, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I need to just sit back, assess the situation, get some input, and then move forward. So what habits in your life are you not working, or that aren't working for you? Are you not taking care of your body? Are you not meditating daily? Are you not really connecting with your spouse or your kids? Is your business not working? And if it is one of those things, you can fix it. Because I did a video the other day that said, you are the problem. And it was direct, guys. If you guys haven't got it yet, I'm a very direct person. And I'm intense. And it was funny, like my story the other night, my son was going to bed while I was doing my live, and he told my wife that, Mom, Dad is saying the word fuck a lot. And it's just like, you know what, I was in my pocket, I was sharing my truth with you guys. I'm not going to sugarcoat stuff. And if you don't like it, that's fine. You can go watch somebody else that'll be the happy clappy person you want them to be. They'll get you 90%. I'll get you to 100. But it's those habits that we need to look at. It's those habits that we need to focus on and get the real facts of where you're at and what you are not doing. And if you focus on fixing those habits and you focus on those daily and you're consistent and you're intentional, then you will achieve the result that you're trying to get. And we see it all the time. We have someone, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. They're so focused on the scale. They're so focused on, I only lost a pound, or I haven't lost any weight this week. I'm not going to hit my goal of 20 pounds. So they jump from 0 to the 20 pounds. And they don't look at what are you doing daily to get you to that result. Or sometimes they're like, it's good enough. I just worked out. I went 90%. But what I'm trying to show you guys in my stories is that I'm doing the things daily so that I end up getting the result that I want sometime down the road. And I'm going to have things show up. I'm going to have things try and derail me. It's happened all week. I could tell you all about it, but it's so fucking boring. I don't know that you guys want to hear about it. I lost a whole day of my production this week because of an issue we had in our office. So I'd have you consider, take a look at your habits, and are your habits getting you to 100%, or are they getting you to 90%, or are they getting you to 50%? And if you don't know where to start, I just told you where to start. So you're welcome. I got to wrap up dinner, and then I got date night with the wife. Super pumped to go connect with her. And as always, guys, we'll talk to you later. And if you're interested in hearing more or seeing if I'd be a good fit for you, the next thing you need to do is just shoot me a message here on Instagram, and we can hop on a call and chat. Talk to you soon.